Welcome to the Stock Guy Analysis. So picture this. A crypto company is supposed to release its earnings, but they're over 2 months late. For any investor, that's either a massive flashing red flag or maybe, just maybe, it's a sign that something huge is about to drop. Let's break down the incredibly high-stakes story of BMNR and their upcoming, and I mean this make or breakout announcement, right? Because the delay this long as well, it's just not normal. Is highly unusual, and it's created two completely different theories about what's really going on behind the scenes. It's kind of like a classic Wall Street mystery. So you've got two camps. On one side, people see this as a major warning sign. Delays like this, they often point to serious trouble. Maybe disagreements with auditors, financials that are a complete mess, or even worse. But then on the other side, the optimists are saying this delay could be totally strategic. The company might be putting the final touches on a game-changing announcement like launching a new staking platform, and they want to release all the news at once for maximum impact. This is the central conflict for anyone watching this stock right now. Now, to understand why this announcement is so ridiculously critical, you have to get your head around BMNR's pretty radical transformation. They've gone way beyond just simple crypto mining to make this enormous concentrated bet that will literally define their entire future. Yeah, while they might have started out in mining, their main focus has shifted completely. Now it's all about buying and holding Ethereum on a truly colossal scale. Their balance sheet is way less about mining rigs these days and much more about their ever-growing stack of ETH. And when I say colossal, I mean it. BMNR is holding around 3.5 million ETH. To put that into perspective for you, that's nearly 3% of all the Ethereum in circulation. This is an absolutely massive company defining bet on the future of this one single asset. And this nickname that's been floating around, it's perfect. It brilliantly illustrates how the market sees them. Just like MicroStrategy won a line on Bitcoin, BMNR is doing the exact same thing with Ethereum. And this is a huge but, there's a key difference. BMNR has the potential to generate yield on all that ETH through staking, which is basically earning rewards for helping to secure the Ethereum network. It's a really powerful twist on the whole strategy. Okay, so with all that in mind, what could the company actually announce on November 21st? Well, analysts have pretty much broken it down into 3 potential scenarios, and each one has a very, very different outcome for the stock. Now, what's really interesting here is how the market is handicapping this. It's pricing in a 60% chance of a very bullish outcome. That's a ton of optimism, and it's probably fueled by the huge potential of ETH staking and this belief that the delay is hiding good news. Not bad. The middle-of-the-road case sits at 30%, and a really bad announcement is seen as only a 10% shot. So, let's break each of these down, starting with the most likely one. The bull case, right? The one the market is betting on is that BMNR announces they're officially flipping the switch on their staking strategy in early 2026. This would start generating some serious yield. We're talking 6 to 8% on that massive pile of ETH. On top of that, they'd probably announce plans to raise another 10 to 15 times $1 billion to buy even more. If this happens, analysts are expecting the stock to jump 30, maybe even 50%. Okay, the base scenario is, well, it's more of the same, just a little slower. In this future, they'd push back the full staking launch, maybe blaming it on needing more regulatory clarity, but they just keep on with their strategy of buying ETH every time the price dips. They'd raise less money, and the expected stock impact would be a more modest, but still positive 10 to 20% gain. And finally, we have the bear scenario. This is what happens if that earnings delay really was the red flag everyone feared. In this case, they would give no timeline whatsoever for staking. They'd warn investors about how volatile ETH is, and they dramatically scale back their fundraising plans. This would signal a huge loss of confidence and could easily send the stock tumbling 10 to 20%. Now, these 3 scenarios all hinge on what the company says. But there is one external force that has an even bigger impact on BMNR's fate. It's the absolute elephant in the room for any crypto stock, the price of Ethereum itself. This analysis shows exactly how much BMNR stock price could swing just based on what ETH does. For example, let's just look at that best-case bull scenario. If ETH rallies 20%, the stock price could be over $110. But if ETH drops 20%, that same bull scenario announcement only gets you to about $65. You see, the price of Ethereum is the ultimate amplifier here for better or for worse. So, let's just boil it down to this. This is the crucial point. For every $600 move in the price of Ethereum, up or down, BMNR stock could swing by $20 to $30. That is an incredible level of sensitivity. It means that even if the company executes its plan perfectly, its stock price is ultimately at the mercy of the wider crypto market. So, we've laid out the stakes, the scenarios, and the single biggest variable. Now, let's just bring it all together with a clear checklist of what you need to be looking for when that finally drops. All right, first things first. Confirm their ETH holdings. Is that 3.5 million number still accurate? Second, you're going to scan for any language, even just a tiny hint about a staking timeline. Third, check their cash burn rate. How sustainable is this whole operation? Fourth, look for dilution. How many new shares did they have to issue to fund all these ETH purchases? And finally, and this is maybe the most important thing given the delay, read the auditor's notes. You need to see a clean opinion. That is vital. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this one single powerful question. BMNR has pushed all of its chips into the middle of the table. It is a concentrated high-leverage bet on the future of one of the world's most volatile and most promising assets. So, after seeing the potential upside and the enormous risks, you have to decide for yourself. Is that a bet you'd be willing to make? Thank you for watching.